Who were you before this? Like, how was your dating life before marriage?
How was my dating life? You know what? I will say, and I'm not just saying this because we're on camera, but I will say I have had a fair share of like quality. I feel like I've always dated nice quality men, like men who are intelligent, who are into their purpose. So I definitely say I've had some good luck with dating. There were a few stragglers. There were a few where I was just like, I attracted a certain type of men because I wasn't who I am now. I wasn't this confident. Like, I feel like I am the most comfortable, the most confident I've ever been in my life. And I wasn't always there, especially like my early 20s. And I think when you're in the space where you don't really know who you are, you haven't fully walked into your confidence, your crown, I call it, confidence, resilience, optimism, willpower, non-negotiables, you may accept things that are not in alignment with your fullest potential. And I was there in my 20s. A couple stragglers got in there. Where you kind of accept what people give you. Whereas now is I teach people how to treat me. I don't even take a certain, like, there's a certain treatment that you're going to give me because I demand it, I require it. It's a requirement. It's like, you know, like some people say the B word and the N word, like that's not how I'm greeted. You greet me, you say queen, period, because that's just what I require.
I can tell because you text me king.
Peace, king.
So I have to
You got to reciprocate the energy.
reciprocate that energy.
Yeah.
Where did you get this confidence from? Where did it come from?
Let me tell you something. I kid you not. So the night before my 30th birthday, I was 29 years old, and I was just tired. I knew that there was another level to me that I just was not tapping into. And this is my exact prayer. I said, God, please rid me of people, places, and things that do not serve me and do not serve your highest calling for my life. And I promise you, I woke up at 30 years old a new woman. Like, I walked completely into all of my Ernestineness, the trauma, the guilt, the shame, the power, the beauty, the rawness, the grit, the abuse, all of it, all of my traumas. I was just like, I'm walking into it, I'm owning it. Like, there's so many things that have happened to us as children, as adolescents, that we bury. Molestation, abuse, abandonment, death, divorce, all of the things, right? And we bury it and we just keep on going. And I said, I'm exposing it all. I was molested from the age of 7 to 17, walking in it. My mother was I'm technically a crack baby. Like, my mother was on drugs in the 80s, like many mothers were. I was born with crack in my system, walking in it. In my 20s, I didn't know who I was. I did accept certain treatment from different men, walking in that too, owning it all. So now when you walk in all of your stuff and all of your grit, you feel empowered. When I tell you I genuinely feel so empowered, there's nothing you can tell me about me. I feel great. In all of the flaws, in all of the grit, I feel great.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Do you know Bree was molested?
I believe we spoke about it. Yeah. Yes, we did.
She was very open about it.
Yeah. I think we both, actually, yes, we did, because we recently spoke about it because we both had similar, like, times where we told our parents or told our families. So I didn't tell my mom until I was 30. I held it in for 30 years. So you can imagine holding in something like that for 30 years, how much weight that puts on you.
Right.
I released the weight. When I tell you I feel so light, I feel light. I feel great.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know, this is Breeze Renee's friend that was in the movie with
One
her.
of my best friends, yep.
Best friend. 2 episodes ago.
Yes. Bree Renee, straight from the A.
Straight from the A. Such a beautiful lady.
Are you going to let me hook you up with Bree or no?
Bree is my friend.
Okay, well, I'm just saying friends become lovers,
I like Bree, though. Bree is cool. I like
Bree
her.
is one of the coolest girls you'll ever meet.
I love her voice. Like, she's cool. She looks good. But I move really, like, I befriend people first. Like, it's, like, if it might get there, but I would be her friend.
You want me to put in a word or you got this?
No, I got this. For sure.
Oh, okay.
I already got it. I mean, I wanted it, but I hope you're not watching this, Bree. No.
Bree, I'm sending you this episode.
Who molested you?
Wow. Geez, didn't know we were gonna go there, but my stepfather. Yeah, my stepfather. And it's just interesting that you asked that, because I don't really talk about it a whole lot, but what's interesting about it all is, like, in essence, he wasn't a bad guy, meaning like I wasn't being beat or cornered or pushed or, tied up or anything like that. Like it was a psychological battle because he also was the same person that made sure I got to track practice, made sure I had my track uniforms, made sure I got good grades. If I didn't get grades, he put me on punishment. Like, you know what I mean? Like the track team dad, bring Gatorades to the track practices and all that. Like friends all loved him. The whole town loved him. People to this day on Facebook, like, oh, how's your dad? Oh, I saw your dad the other day. Like that guy. So that creates like a lack of trust. Like when I tell you I don't trust people as far as I can throw them sometimes, like I'll trust you to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. But you just never know what's beyond the surface of someone.
Trust men or just people, period?
It's definitely people, period, but I would definitely say there's an emphasis on men. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm so protective of my child. I have a daughter. I'm so protective of her. Like, I don't let her sit on laps. Like, if she was here now and she'd crawl over you, I'd be like, come here. Like, we're not sitting on people's laps. We're not doing any of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
I mean, I was also molested by a after-school youth coach.
You?
Yes. The youth coach that's supposed to be there to protect everyone and play games with everyone until your parents get there to pick you up, after school. Sorry, this big old ring keeps...
We see it.
Sorry, do you want to see it? Is it in the camera? Because it keeps hitting the...
Yeah, we see it. Shining.
Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. But yeah, like the youth coach program guy, coordinator, whatever he was, and this is elementary school, so it's like... the trust thing with men, I'm like, ugh. I just keep my eye open. I would say I just keep my eye open to everything.
I don't mean to just act, and bring it up, but I just know that women that do watch this, like, they've been through the same stuff.
Yeah, plenty.
And some women still ain't talked about it.
Still haven't. And some women never will, but I would empower anyone out there who has been through any type of sexual abuse, molestation, rape. When I tell you there is so much power in confronting it, and walking in it and owning it and allowing yourself to understand that, yes, it happened to you, but it also happened for you because now it's a tool on your toolbox. When I tell you you can't take advantage of me, there's no way I'm going to let you take advantage of me. So many tools I've learned from those experiences, and that's why we talked about it before the show, like I'm just confident. And I'm intimidating some people because I want you to know you can't play with me. I've been played with. That won't be happening anymore.
I definitely feel that energy from you. Do not play with me.
Don't play with me.
Okay, but I don't know how to ask this. I'm going to try to ask the best way I can. Now, the way you explained him, like, okay, he was a good person. And
I mean, you from the outside looking in, yes.
Yes.
Meaning, like, when you think, sometimes I think when people think of abusers or sexual predators, you think of like a bad guy, a mean guy, a scary person or woman who was like silencing you or beating you or whatever. But it's like, no, sometimes they're your grandpa, sometimes they're your uncle, sometimes they're the after school coach with a smile, and they're the track team dad. They're the people that are giving rides to all the girls after school and taking them home and making sure they get home safe. Sometimes they're that guy or woman.
But... okay, why? Why do you think he touched you?
I don't know. Maybe he was touched. I think that the more I've studied and had conversations with other women and men, there's plenty of men who've been molested as well who don't speak about it as openly. I think it's a sickness, and I think sometimes it's history, it's a repetition, it's a generational thing. I think this person was molested by their father, and their father molested them, and their great, you know what I mean? I think it's a generational thing at times. And sometimes I think it's just a mental illness. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. But I do know, part of me thinks that these abusers and or predators, that they're hurting in ways that maybe we just don't understand. Not excusing it at all. There's no excuse for it. But I feel like y'all need to seek, there's a help that you need to seek.
Do you see him?
No. I don't even live in the same state.
What if you was to see him?
That's a great question. I would probably look right through him like Windex, like a glass window. I have no words. I have no words. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I don't want revenge. I just don't have anything to say. I have nothing to say. I've made peace with my journey. So I feel great. You got to deal with that on you. That's for you to deal with. That's for you to seek help on. in any of them for that matter.
At what point did you figure it was wrong? Because if he's taking you to school and he's, still being your dad, like, did it seem like it was wrong then?
Yeah, it always felt like it was wrong. And I don't know what it is. And I've spoken to other women who have similar stories, and there's something that holds you back from saying something. There's something that holds you back from telling someone. There's something that holds you back from like telling anyone else in your family. You think maybe you're going to get in trouble, or maybe they're going to get in trouble, or maybe someone's going to die. Like,
What was your first moment to escape that? Like going to school or something? Or what?
I never escaped it. I didn't escape until I left the state.
At what age?
When I graduated high school and went out of state for college,
Right.
Then it was over. Never spoke to him again. Then after college, I moved to Atlanta. Never went back.
Mm-hmm.
Never confronted him, never went back, I just moved on.
All right, so about your mom.
Mm-hmm.
How did that make you feel? Like her being on drugs?
That's a great question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me. At the time, it didn't make me feel anything because it was all I knew.
Mm-hmm.
So what's crazy is though I knew the difference between the sober mom and high mom at the age of 7 years old. I knew the difference. I knew when, okay, mom came out the bathroom, she's got this twinkle in her eye. Okay, she was in there doing something. And I knew the difference, okay, right now she's sober, she's coherent. Like, I knew the difference at a very young age. I think the one thing it made me feel is that I had to be independent. I think that's where I get a lot of my independence from. And my mom's clean and sober now, like over, I think, 18 years, clean and sober. So shout out to mom. She's had an amazing journey. But back then, it was like, okay, you have to know how to fend for yourself and take care of yourself in an emotional way. Like, my mom was a functioning addict. Like, so I always had money, always had new clothes, new shoes, had the new J's every Saturday, had a car on my sweet 16th birthday. But I lacked the emotional covering and nurturing and support. So that's where I became emotionally independent. Like, okay, I know I'm going to have to figure this out on my own. I'm going to have the money and the support thanks to my functioning mother. But emotionally, I had to figure things out. I had to maneuver things emotionally on my own.
I would think someone that's been through that type of trauma, like, they would struggle in relationships.
Yeah, I think in the beginning of my 20s, for sure, I definitely struggled in relationships because you're looking for the wrong type of love and comfort.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I walked completely into me and my power and my confidence and all of my grit and ugliness and crazy journey. It wasn't until I walked all the way into that and owned it where I'm like, oh, this is not something that happened to me. It happened for me. And these are tools that I can use to empower me. So now I know the difference between when someone's treating me right and treating me wrong. That's why I love my husband. My husband loves me. Like, my husband loves his wife. Hear me? And I'm so grateful for that love, because I know that there were times where I accepted completely less than. And it was only because I thought less of myself. But I have a high ticket on myself now. There's a price tag on me. It's high. It is extremely high. I gave this analogy the other day to some of my students I was speaking to. There are people who shop at Dillard's. There are people who shop at Belk's. There are people who shop at Macy's. Then there's people who shop at, like, Bergdorf Goodman, Saks Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
I'm Bergdorf. So if you shop at Belk's or Dillard's, you're probably not shopping at Bergdorf. Like, you're probably not even coming into my store. There is a high ticket on me. I require a certain treatment. When it comes to me, I don't play about me because I've been played with. So now it's like, I just don't play about me.